Proverbs 4 verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Hello. Hi, I'm Nonny Motaung, and this is Got You, a space to learn, unlearn, grow in understanding and in love as far as relationships are concerned. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Remember, we are releasing episodes every Friday, 1 p.m. South African time, on various social platforms, on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, on Amazon Music, on iHeart, on Podcast, literally anywhere you think there's a podcast, we are probably there. Thank you so much for our returners, people who continue to return to come listen, learn, and share, engage. We really appreciate you, and we really see you. Hey, and for those who are coming across us for the first time, we hope and pray that you find your home with us and you learn one or two thing. And if there's anything you feel like, okay, I know this, I need to teach you guys, you can even teach us. You can even teach us. Thank you so much. You are very much welcome. You are really, really welcome. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, to share, to comment, and just engage with us. Engaging with us actually helps us helps us with the algorithms, right? So we are more accessible and frequently on the For You page. So thank you so much as you engage, as you share, as you subscribe. Thank you as you follow, as you leave rates, as you rate us from the Apple Podcast. Thank you so much. Today we are talking about the importance of boundaries. I know a lot of us actually do struggle with boundaries, especially when you find yourself in a group of adults. You think these people are adults, right? They should not be struggling with such things. But there are a lot of tendencies that they have that shows that, oops, okay, we actually have a problem. So you may ask, what are boundaries? Boundaries are limits you set for what's acceptable for your emotions, your time, your belongings, your emotions, in order to set or to form a healthy relationships, right? Boundaries are a tone, right, that you set to tell the other person that this I can tolerate, this I cannot tolerate. So it's somewhat managing, right, what affects you and what doesn't. What is your responsibility and what is not. So a lot of times we are not taught how to set boundaries. We are, in most cases, advised to be kind, and kindness is really necessary. People must be kind. I mean, please, people must be kind. But what I'm trying to emphasize is we mostly like to please other people and forget about our own pleasing, right? We would rather prefer to please other people, our families, our parents, our siblings, those we are in romantic relationships with, our friends, more than pleasing ourselves. And we are more likely to respect other people, what their needs are, what their goals are, and helping them out to reach their goals, but also at the same time disrespecting ourselves, our needs, our goals, what we need, neglecting what we need, what we should be doing, what we should be pursuing in the context of you are being helpful or you are being kind, right? Being kind is necessary. If you get a time and a chance and whatever, please be kind all the time. Just make sure your response is kindness everywhere you go, right? But you need to set boundaries, because without boundaries, there's a scripture that says, he that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down and without walls. So basically that means the more boundaries you do not have, the more broken you actually get, and the more directionless you actually have, right? You accept anything is fine. As long as you are not dead, anything is fine. Anybody can do whatever they want. You are a city without walls. Anybody who comes from wherever, they can just come and find their resident in you, and they just take whatever they want to take, and then they leave, and you are not served in all these situations. So it is really important, because people, they're gonna use you. Okay, not in a bad way, right? You must be usable, because wow, why are you useless? I'm kidding. But I'm saying that people have a tendencies of wanting things for themselves. They have tendencies of selfishness, self-centered, self-gratification, self. So if you are one of those people without boundaries, you would go all out for people who literally would not even wake up for you, would not even take just a tiny step for you. So it is important that you also have that in mind, that not everybody is in your life to be helpful. Some people are there to be parasitic. So really be careful and mindful of such human beings, such human. We are living with them. Or you are one of them. No, I'm kidding. You're probably not. If you are a got you listener, please, we cannot find you by the files of parasites. We can't. You are doing injustice to our saviors, okay? Anyway, so it is important that also you are aware, right, of yourself. You are aware of things that impact you. You are self-aware, because if not, you're not going to be able to set boundaries. What boundaries are you setting if you don't really know what is what, who's who, what's happening around you? So you really need to be aware of yourself. You need to reflect on things that bother you, on things that excite you, on things that you don't know about. You don't know if you want to continue doing them or not. You just need to be aware of yourself. That means taking time to, not even time, but just being intentional of your daily life. What the other person said, how that made you feel when you did this, how did that make you feel? How safe are you around these people? How safe are you talking about certain things around certain people? And just being aware of yourself. What impacted you negatively, what impacted you positively, what inspired you, what discourages you, what, all these things. You need to be aware of things that are impactful to you, to your soul. So it is really important. And then when you know, or rather when you are aware of yourself, right, you are able to work on boundaries. And setting boundaries is not something you have in your mind. Yes, it is a invisible line that you cannot draw, but people around you should know that this is a no-go area for me. This is a no for me. This is where it ends. This is my limit, right? You can't have boundaries in your head and those around you don't know about it. So you need to learn to communicate your boundaries, right? Tell them very clear. When you are clear with who you are, what you want, when you have a sense of identity, right? When you have self-esteem, right? Actually, lack of boundaries, most cases, shows lack of self-esteem. Because when you know, you know. When you know, you know. So if you have an issue with boundaries, you should just go and check your self-esteem. Where are you? Are you coming all right? What's going on with you? Just go check and then you'll come back. Okay. Yes, we are fixing your country. Okay. As I was saying, you need to communicate with those around you clearly. Just make it clear to them that this is who I am. This is what I want. This I do not want. This I do not need. For example, most people struggle with this at work, right? Their boss will call them just randomly on days where they're not working, right? Probably maybe on Sunday or Saturday, where you set time to spend with your family or to do activities that you can't do during the week because you're at work, right? And then they'll just randomly call you, and it becomes frequent because you are not able to speak out to them and say, no, after this time you do not call me. I respect you. I love my job, and I'll do literally anything just to keep my job, but this is where I draw the line. I need to spend time with my family. I need to do probably hobbies, You need to get a life. Get a life. You need to do things that interest you. You need to spend time with people that you love, people you care about. Just bond with people you love, whatever the case might be, or do activities that you enjoy doing, just so you are human being. Just so your life is not about waking up in the morning, going to work and come back and sleep, do the same thing the next day. Wake up, go to work, come back, sleep, that, right? So you have a life of that party. No, I'm kidding. So set boundaries. Tell your boss, I can't do this. I really cannot do this. Yes, they can, if really they need your help, right? They can call you there and there. Not all the time, right? You can sacrifice because you also care, right? You can just sacrifice sometimes and be like, okay, no, cool, let me just go to work. But it should not be a frequent thing where there's too much sacrificing from your side, which causes too much stress, which causes too much unhappiness, which you become miserable. Emotionally, you are drained. You even lose your sense of identity, right? You're just a human being. You're just a working human being, which is not bad, but okay. So setting boundaries helps you to protect your emotional space. For example, when this is a touchy subject for you, you don't want people to make jokes about it, especially the ones that you are in intimate relationships with. You don't want them to joke about your trauma. You don't want it because it awakes emotions and just say it nicely to them that I'm not comfortable talking about this, and please, let's not joke about this. This is okay. If you want to explain yourself, you don't actually have to, but if you want to explain yourself, you can just go further and say, this is how it makes me feel, right? Can I heal from it, or can I whatever, so you protect your emotional space. Setting boundaries, you are protecting your emotional space, and also your health, your mental health, right? It is protecting your mental health. Your mental health is as important as your health, your well-being, your body, your health. So it is important that your mind thinks the right things, you have the right ideas, the right perspective, you are right in your head, right? You are made right in your head. It is important. So, but setting boundaries help you protect that, to guard that. And what also it does, it saves or protects your valuable time. You need to set boundaries with your time as well. This is when we said we're gonna meet at 5. Yeah, you can be compassionate and just say, oh man, I understand this person is coming from far and there's traffic and all these factors that might affect them not coming on time. And also, when we said we're going to do something, we are doing that. We are doing exactly that, right? You are protecting your valuable time. So in that case, you are able to manage your time. You are able to set things that, okay, from this time and this time, this is what I'm going to do. From this time to this time, this is what should happen. So you're able, you kind of have a sense of control over your life, where, from 1 p.m. to probably 5, I'm just at home because I haven't seen them in a while. I'm home. I'm just, being with my family, bonding with them, whatever, conversating with them, whatever. But from this time and this time, I'm supposed to go, right? Even if your mom decide, girl, why are you leaving? We haven't seen you in a while. Hala, hala, hala. Yeah, and you are like, oh my goodness, I can't go because my mom. No ways. No ways. You set time. You told them before that I'm going to be there for this and this time. From this and this time, I need to be somewhere. I need to be doing something. So they should literally accept that. Or I don't know. It's a my way or highway situation, kind of. But I'm not saying you should do this all the time. Sometimes it just you sacrifice, right? It's very important for sacrifices, because relationships needs a lot of sacrifices, right? But it should not be as though you are the one who sacrifices more, who's sacrificing their selves, their time, their resources, and everybody is just eating off that, So it is protecting your time, and also it gives you a sense of independency. Your happiness is not someone's responsibility, is your responsibility. And someone's happiness, guess what, is not your responsibility. So setting boundaries helps you to know that unfortunately I have to make myself happy. Yes, somebody has a potential to make me sad, and I have also potential to make somebody sad, but it is not my responsibility on how they react, on how they feel, right? Setting boundaries is understanding that you are responsible for your actions and emotions, and not someone's actions and actions and emotions. And this is not to say that you should just live your life haphazardly and intentionally hating people that you are in relationships with and just being a hooligan, right? But we are saying that you should have an understanding that their happiness is not on your hands, right? If someone wants to be happy, guess what? They should make themselves happy. There's a codependency, right, that is needed in relationships, which is understandable, but your happiness, how you feel, should not entirely depend on what the other person does to you or say to you or what they do in general with their lives. So that means you low-key want to control them, because how then do you want to be responsible for people's emotions? So that means you want to switch them on and off, like how you do with your bulb, right? When you want them to be happy, you switch the happy light. When you want them to be guilty, you switch the guilty switch. No, we don't do that. That is manipulation, and that is toxic. Okay, please, if you were doing that, try to learn to let people be, right? For example, you know how also these romantic relationships are, someone will say, I'm jealous when you go outside, when you go with your friends without me. I feel insecure because you are not with me. I feel like I need to go with you. So now you can't even be with your friends because someone is feeling jealous or insecure. No, that's not healthy. That's not healthy. Yes, you are in a relationship, but you have to have your sense of independency, right? There's a level of codependency that is needed, obviously, but you should not overstep your your dependency and just overstep your life, your needs, your please, please, please. There's a say, oh my goodness, that says charity begins at home, right? I like it so much because wow, I can literally just paste anything around it. It begins with you. You begin with yourself. Set boundaries for yourself. Literally set boundaries for yourself. Personal boundaries. Before even going further to relational boundaries, your boundaries yourself. Know what? No, you know what? I'm sleeping around this time. This time I sleep. I don't answer my phone after a certain time. Don't answer it. I don't go to certain places. Don't go to certain places. I don't engage in certain activities. Don't engage in certain activities. Just don't do things that you don't want to do. Just don't do them. Okay? That helps you also with being firm, right? You are decided. You know what you want. You stick with what you chose. It helps with that. Also, it helps with commitment as well, right? You develop a bone or a muscle for commitment. It helps you to commit. When you said you want to do something, you do it. When you said you want to do something, you do it, right? It helps you. So your lack of boundaries also shows the lack of, I don't know, self-respect, the lack of respect for yourself as well. Self-pleasing has its place, but not pleasing people has its place. We agree. We won't neglect that, and we won't say it's wrong or whatever, but it has its place, and we all understand that it has its place. Also, self-pleasing has its place, right? You can't pour something that you don't have, right? Like this, like the Bible says that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So it is that you are containing that is gonna come out of you, right? Your substance is the one that you're gonna give to people. So if you don't have boundaries in your personal space, in your personal life, guess what? You're gonna struggle with boundaries with people. So you need to sort yourself out. Don't hotspot people with your traumas. Don't let people hotspot themselves with their traumas, because some people also there's a way they grew, right? There's a background that they come from. So how they experience love or how they know love is quite different, right? Some people know experience love when they are needy and you are feeding their needs all the time. So that's how they know how to be loved, right? Which is toxic. But we understand and we acknowledge that there was a heading, or there was brokenness that took place, right? We acknowledge that, but we are doing something about it, right? We are becoming better by day. We are initiating systems. We are putting systems in place to better ourselves, right? So we don't continue to bleed on people, so that we don't continue to need people to feel loved, so that we don't want too much of people, to feel alive, to feel loved, to feel worthy, So it is so empirical. Okay. And what it does also, okay, like I said, your mental health, right? It protects your mental health. It gives you a sense of independence. Also, it helps you to have a strong sense of identity when you do things that you like, right? When you go after things that you really desire, that you want to achieve, you know, it gives you a sense of identity. You kind of build this identity, a sense of identity around you, because you are, when you do things, you're not thinking, my mom is not going to be happy that I'm moving to another country. You know, I really want to go, but I can't move because my mom, you know. So when you, so now your sense of identity is attached to other people's reactions, which in life, if honestly you want to do anything, you want to become anything, you want to have stable things and build some things, you need to have a bone for boundaries. It's not nice because you always seem like a villain. Yeah, when you're setting boundaries, especially with family, it seems like, this person is that guy with horns right on their head. So it doesn't feel right. But for the sake of your health, for the sake of your children, for the sake of your legacy, for the sake of your peace, please, you better be starting now to do the right things. You better be starting now to say no. A no is literally a sentence, a whole sentence. Just say no. I know some people feel loved or feel they belong when they stretch themselves, when they extend themselves to other people. And people, they know also that, oh, this person is like this. So when I need anything, something that you can get for yourself, honestly, you would reach out for them, because you know what? They would do it happily. They're not even happy doing it. They're just doing it because they're maintaining their relationship. They're trying to maintain the relationship they have with you. So they will do it, you know. Even when they don't feel like this is the right thing for me to do. It's not right for me to engage in such things. It's not right for me to go all out like this for this person. But they've been in my life for quite some time. So I'm just going to do it. So it shows lack of boundaries. It's just lack of boundaries, lack of self-awareness, lack of time with yourself. Like this, that shows that actually you don't take yourself serious. You know, when you take someone serious, right? You make time for them. Whatever they say, you take whatever they say serious. You consider what they say. You even honor them. You know, if if the president decides to come to your house, you'll make sure that the house is sparkling, it is clean. You make sure. Why? Because the president is coming, right? In your house. Because why? You honor them. You respect their position, their authority over your life, or whatever. But you cannot do that for yourself. So in essence, respect yourself. Respect yourself and put necessary boundaries for you to have healthy relations with those around you. Okay? I'm done with politics. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Don't forget, we are releasing episodes every Friday, 1 p.m. South African time on various social platforms. Don't forget to subscribe, to share, to comment, and to rate, to follow. Anything that is necessary, please don't forget it. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And from myself and the Goju team, we are saying bye. Until next time. Blessed.